either.
We're gonna go live now. It was tripping. Let's go.
Anyway,
Oh God. Let's go. Here's the intro. Get live. Oh God, I cannot. It's playing on.
Wow.
Like our double intro.
They don't know. They don't know what be going on behind the
We have
back.
some of the dumbest behind the scene tech issues, man. Some of the dumbest. What's up, QT fam? Welcome back to another Tuesday takeover with the Queen. I know he's talking about I know with the Queens Takeover. We are your favorite guilty Tuesday pleasure, or we should be anyway. We are your hosts, Nikki John, aka Nick, and Miss CP Sierra Pleasant. How you doing, boo?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. How you doing this wonderful Tuesday? This takeover Tuesday.
We taking it over. Y'all can see I'm in a different location today, right?
I see, and I like.
It's giving different location.
Hey,
It's giving different location.
hey.
Yes. Hello, King. What it do to all of y'all? So as you come in, say something so we can say something back. Otherwise, just it just said they're not live anymore. That's when we know it's going to be a good show. That's when we know it's going to be
awesome,
amazing.
fantastic show. Yeah, it's idling over on Facebook.
Okay, so we are on. We're good.
It's giving
Okay, you guys do us a favor and share this to your page. Send it to someone in their inbox and let them know that we are live. All righty, Queen. How you doing? Tell us about your week, and have you had anything that you've been struggling with this week?
Well, this week has been a very busy week, exhausting. The heat is so disrespectful. If you are in South United States, Texas specifically, H-Town or San Antonio, this is rosy because it's the sun-kissed, but it's hot. And that's disrespectful. And I don't know. It's making me almost delirious because I'm so hot. All day I'm hot. If y'all don't know, I'm home health. So I'm in the car, out the car, in the car, out the car. And it's just hot. I feel like I need to take a bath in the middle of the day. Does that make sense? It's that hot.
A couple of times.
Like a couple. Like, that has been my struggle bus. It's the heat and trying to continue to stay sane, get things done, keep it pushing, keep it moving, and then find joy outside of the heat. If y'all ain't never been in Houston, Texas, what true heat is, man. I'm sorry. I love our people who live up north. I wish I had that expenditure because, honey, it's giving heat. It's too much. What about you, Nikki? What's going on in your world?
My term for the last 2 weeks is that the sun is not only disrespectful, it has no manners and no home training. I have to make a disclaimer. See, this glow, this tan, people think I've been luxuriating on beaches. That's not. That's from going from the house to somewhere, riding in people's cars, riding on the passenger side, driving, going to the mailbox, walking the dog. This is not luxuriating. This is called it's hot. And I did text the Lord as I posted the other day. I asked him to forgive us for all of our sins so he can turn the AC back on because I don't understand. In Houston is, for those that don't know, about 3 hours away from San Antonio, where Sierra is.
Yeah.
The meteorologist said on your news this morning that in the shade, it's going to get up to 115. We're hotter than you all are because we're further down. So I was like, my God, today, the manners. Who didn't home train the son? The son has
Nobody.
no home train. And we may be returning the text. Come on, James. Do you need to return in the summer? Because if you can wait,
I suggest that you wait, brother, if you can. If you can.
it has no manners. I don't. Anyway,
So disrespectful.
speaking of hot, I have some hot, fabulous topics for you all today. So if y'all are ready, let's jump into. Nikki, you own the Starbucks Wi-Fi. First of all, don't do me like that. I actually told somebody that right now I look like a Starbucks drink. All of the mocha frappuccinos.
Yeah.
Like I got so many different colors going on me right now. I'm a mixed drink from Starbucks. Very. Anyway, but I'm gonna need you off my Wi-Fi. Be praying for it because it's whack. So I don't have anything I want to talk about as far as struggles this week. Like
something happened good. Something happened good.
I don't. Here's the thing. Because we talk about all our business during the show anyway, whatever needs to come up will come up. Anywho, so how about we just get started? If I would talk about a struggle, it's gonna be the heat. How about that?
Okay, good.
But I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna move on to our topics. Let's move on. Thank you to all of y'all who are joining in with us. All righty, sis. What's our first topic for tonight, baby?
Well, y'all saw the title. We want to go with the title topic today. We want to go with the title.
Let's do that. Okay, so he just said that it got better. Are y'all able to hear and to see since he said the Wi-Fi was kind of wonky? Are we good? Are we straight?
Let me look and see just to make sure that we on point.
Since he was talking about my Starbucks Wi-Fi, I think that's what he's meaning. Because we don't want anybody having bad reception.
No.
We're not on? Okay.
Good.
James said he can hear and see us. Thank you, King James. All righty. Yes, our topic. Go ahead.
So the topic of episode 44. We are one episode away from our finale. And so the title for this episode is it hard to let go of the independent woman mindset? And this topic generated from a reel that I was looking at on Instagram by Forrest Lawrence. And he was basically saying, at first, when I started listening to it, I was like, he about to diss us. He about to diss us real hard. But he was like explaining why is it so hard for women to let go of their independence. And he even discussed how does she really just want to be independent, or does she have a fear of letting go of her independence because that's all she's known, and she's never felt safe enough to let it go, or had an environment where she felt that she was safe enough that everything didn't rely on her. And I love at the end, this reel kind of tied me to another reel that I watched too, that said women tired. They tired. They exhausted. And back in the day, we just, women just sucked it up and just like, we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta keep the family going, we gotta keep going. And now with mental health being on the forefront of everybody's conversation, kids, adults, everyone, senior citizens, all of us, this is a concern now. Now we can voice that we're just tired. But are we tired enough to let go of that independence? Do we have an environment where we can just be and not feel like we have to do everything? So that's where this topic came from. So the question is it hard to let go of the independent woman mindset? What say you, Nikki? And of course, the chat, please chime in on the chat. Please.
We already have a chime in. My big sister said, I'm gonna let you hear it because it's not, there we go.
Okay. The man has to compliment her and show her that she can trust and depend on him to get it done. I did to it. Yes.
Ooh, that's a lot to unpack in what she said. I question. I so love that you wanted to talk about this topic. because there's so many things to unpack in just the topic alone, right? The guy that was making these statements actually made such an accurate statement when he said when she's in a place and environment where she's safe enough to lay down all these hats and titles, most of us will do it.
Mhm.
If I'm gonna be honest, especially when I was raising my children by myself,
Mhm.
I wanted the day when I could turn and say, "Baby, you got this one." But I had to make all the decisions on my own. And
Mhm.
so when you have someone that is making all life decisions on their own, the moment you step into their life, that doesn't change for them.
Right.
That's like asking somebody that has tied their shoe a certain way their whole life. You want them in 1 minute of meeting you to tie the shoe differently. It's habit. Everything is second nature. You're used to making everything happen. Because if you don't, you're gonna not have a place to stay. You won't be able to eat. You won't survive. And so I think for a lot of women, and of course, I'm not speaking for all women, but I think for a lot of women, when she feels that she can rest and no longer has to do all of those multitasking roles, that she will do it. Now, for some of us, it's going to take some trial and error and some patience from the man, that when she can finally get to the point and say, okay, baby, you're right, I'm gonna let you do this, you're right, I'm gonna step back here, you're right, I'm gonna let you make this decision, and I'm not gonna run everything, right? I think when she gets to that place, after some trial and error, that will happen. Then you're gonna have some of us that no matter what, they're never gonna let go of the mindset. Hey, mommy. Hello, Anissa. Got people coming in saying hello. How y'all doing? So
Hey.
I think for women, it's from a lot of different perspectives and angles. I don't think, and men like to talk about the angry independent woman. She's probably angry for a reason. She probably really doesn't want to be, but she's had to be for so long. I think the right man with the right amount of patience and the right amount of love can love that out of her,
Yeah.
but you got to be willing to do it. And if you run at the first sight of her rah-rahing at you, she'll never change. Now, will some ever change? Probably not. They're going to forever rah-rah. But those are my thoughts on that part so far. What are your thoughts? And what are your thoughts down in the chat, QT fam?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it hard to let go of the independent woman mindset?
While y'all thinking about it, I'm gonna say my input. Now that I am a married woman of going on 12 years, amen, amen, 12 years, amen. Because niggas like, I can't wait till you answer this question because
Wait on that too. And answer it honestly. Answer it honestly.
I am. It's very hard for me to let go of of the full independence. Yes, I appreciate it, and I thank God that God gave me a husband that does appreciate it as well. But when it comes to life changes and circumstances, um, you want your husband to kind of be like, "Hey, I got it," like got it. But then you still be like, I can control. But what about it? And I'm learning how to to let go of it. It's ingrained. It's been ingrained in me since I was a child. My father wasn't there, so I was like the second mama, right? I was the
Yeah.
oldest out of all of
Sister,
my
yeah.
and so I have that drive. I have that determination to get it done by any means necessary. But I'm learning. Holy Spirit has really taught me and teaching me, still teaching me, how to go at a different pace. And at that different pace, I appreciate that I have a husband where I don't have to be so independent. And so at first I was like, I got it. I still got it. I still got it. And I'm like, do you really got it though? Is it okay to let him do X, Y, and Z? And even with a dynamic of our relationship, my husband's a counselor, about to be a principal, whoop whoop. And then I'm a therapist. We have very big, demanding jobs, and so it
Mm-hmm.
pulls on both of us. And so, you know, I had to let go of some of my control, if you will, that
Mm-hmm.
comes with being an independent woman,
Mm-hmm.
um, and say, okay, just let it go, Steve. It's okay. It's gonna get done. You ain't gotta get done like you wanted to get done all the time. It's okay. And
Yeah.
so when I started doing that and appreciating my husband more, I was able to let go. But My husband is very patient, amen. Whereas a lot of men are not that I have met before, that I felt safe enough to let go of some of that control and felt secure in that relationship to be able to do that. So even as a married woman of 12 years, I still struggle with it. It's still a struggle. But God is trying to set me up in a way where I'm like, you're gonna lay on all this. You're gonna lay it down quickly. It's gonna burn out. And I feel that burnout, my dad. So I need to learn how to just let certain things go and talk more and verbalize how I feel more and accept that it's okay to have those feelings. What you
Yeah.
gonna do with it? You know what I mean? Yeah.
So William is a great example of the guy that I was describing earlier. Patient enough to love you. I don't want to say out of it, but to love that out of you. I can say it that way.
Yeah.
Um, Something that came up when you were talking was there's a fear. There's a fear with some of us that have this. And I don't think we think of it. People label it independent woman. I don't think we think of it necessarily like that. I mean, you may say I'm an independent woman. I don't need anybody. You may
Yeah.
say that, but I don't think you're thinking I'm thinking like an independent woman. I think you're thinking like a woman that's in survival mode
Right.
and a woman that's always trying to survive and make it and be
Right.
successful.
Right.
And someone coming in to not help that and actually threatens it, that's scary.
Yeah.
What's even scarier is letting it down and giving it to somebody else. And you either don't see attributes of them being able to complete it, or you're such a control freak, you don't give them the opportunity to. So in your mind, if I don't do it, it's not going to be done. If I don't do it, it won't be done right. So then conflict is going to come because you will have a man that says, well, what am I here for? What do you need me for then?
Right.
You're going to do everything. You don't want to talk to me about nothing, run nothing by me. We can't do it together. What am I here for?
Right.
What do y'all think about that? We have this question to us from James. If I may ask you, Queens, a question. What if the man is completely doing his part, spiritual, physical, and financially? Seriously asking. I'm going to let you start first.
You would.
You're married.
You would.
You're married.
Yes, she is. Even if the man is doing all those things, it really takes a woman to know how much she's in survival mode. And I love that you said that, Nikki, because at the end of the day, that's really what it is. You are trying to survive, like regardless, family, career, business, you are on the run and trying to make sure that thing completes itself. You're striving the whole time
Yeah.
versus just going at a pace that you can tolerate that's healthier for you. Some women love that robust moving and going, shaking and driving. And some women like, you know what? Yeah, it's getting a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But even though a man can I love this that he said it that way because that's another topic we're going to talk about. But anyway, even though you are providing all of those things, the woman still has to make a decision and has to feel secure and safe in that. I will always tell, and I'm saying this out loud. You might be doing all those things. Continue to do all those things, and make a note to her. Hey, I already took care of that. We good. Remind her because if you're so used to doing it, like let me say it this way. A calculator knows what its job to do. It's supposed to calculate and calculate and calculate. But when you start doing arithmetic in your head, that calculator gets kind of forgotten, right? And doesn't know what to. It just goes sit there collect dust. And so what I'm trying to say is the more you stop going to using what you used to do and pick up something else, it makes your mind think a little bit different and appreciate that person's physical, financial, and spiritual love. And you depend on it and you lean a little bit. And I think that's one thing I had to learn. I'm learning to do is lean, not really totally take myself and say, "You got it." That's
Yeah.
healthy. That's not healthy, right? But lean in and be like, okay, you can handle the dogs. You can do that. I don't gotta book nothing. You got it. We going out. Okay, we going out of town. I'm the planner, right? So I will plan everything. Now I'm like, you got the hotel? Okay, boom. You know we're gonna eat at? Boom, check. And let it go. And not feel like you have to control everything. Um, Also understanding your significant other too is so important in this because for a woman to feel safe, she needs to know that you know her for real.
Mm-hmm.
Not like you're trying to change her, not that you're not appreciative of who she is. And the only way that she knows that is that you kind of pick up on things. Perfect example. You go to Whataburger and you know she likes this type of burger with this type of thing on it. And instead of getting her what she likes, you get her something completely off rip. Well, she doesn't feel seen or heard. If we've been to Whataburger several times, you still got the wrong burger. See what I'm saying? So that's why she let me text you what I want. Let me text you what I want because you ain't gonna get it right. Right? That's something small, like on a like very, very small. But when it comes to those big things, she has to be able to trust you enough to know that you got her back for real. Yeah. Thank you, James.
So, James, you present such a great question.
Yep.
For those just coming in, James says, what if the man is completely doing his part, spiritual, physical, and financially? So I think it's going to come down to a lot of trust. And my sister has a comment. I'm going to put up in a
Yeah.
moment. And she's
Yeah.
talking about communication, which I was going to say as well.
Yeah.
Trust communication. The thing is I feel, and I could be wrong, I feel it'd be so much easier for a man that was looking for his helpmate. He was looking to be able to come home and have someone there to help him with the other things he doesn't have the time to do because he's working so hard. Those things that some men want in their wife or woman. I think if you were to see that during the dating process, that's so much easier to acclimate your mind to, like, okay, I can give her that. She got that. Than it is for a woman that has had to be in survival mode, because I don't know if men live in survival mode the same way we do. And if you are raising children by yourself in survival mode, I think it's a little bit different than a man. I've never been a man, so feel free, kings, to tell me, if I'm wrong. But I think our survival mode is a little bit different. When you are in survival mode, it's like you're always having to watch your back.
Yeah.
And you know that if you don't get something done, if you don't work X amount of hours, you're not going to make the rent. You're not going to be able to buy groceries. You're not going to be able to afford whatever for your child, whatever it is. Somebody coming into your life who comes saying, this is what I'm going to do, does not change that immediately.
Mm-mm.
Actions. There has to be action. Now, let's say there's a guy that is doing it. She say, please say it out loud, Lord. A man that is actually doing everything that James was saying. I do believe for some women, when she gets to that place where she sees that consistently and there's communication on your part, if you're feeling like she going back into control freak mode again, instead of yelling or y'all waiting till you're pissed off with each other, and then you bring it up. That's when those moments, those date nights, those sit and we talk once or twice a week, those check-ins, that's a great time to really talk about it, because she may not realize that's what she's doing. She may not have turned off survival mode like she thought she did. So,
hold on 1 second. I think the thing is idling.
You think it's what?
It's idling. It hasn't caught up on Facebook.
Okay.
Hold
Y'all
on.
down in the comments what's going on.
Can y'all still see us and hear us? It's idling over here.
So when you say it's idling, am I frozen or am I just moving like the Matrix?
It's a black screen and then circle.
William says, yes, we can see you.
But now it's
Nikki Johnson, I love your response. Thank you, James. Okay, so I think we're okay.
yeah, we're good.
But William, I need you on Starbucks Wi-Fi watch and tell me if it starts to trip. So yeah, and I think it's super, super, super important that communication. When you're married, man, I think communication has to be even stronger than when y'all were dating and courting and in your engagement ship or whatever. Because okay, you can see it here. Thank you so much. Because I may think I'm doing things right.
Right.
I may think the things we talked about when we were dating that you desire, that I desire, I may think I'm doing them right. But inside you are secretly resenting me because I'm not doing none of it right. or I'm half stepping with it, or you feel like, well, I could have stayed single because she ain't whatever. Same thing with women. We have to be able to open up our mouths and talk, not just to our best friends, not just to our homies when we pissed off at our spouse. We have to be able to talk to our spouses and say, these are my needs, this is what I'm wanting and I'm desiring, and in this area I feel like you could be a little bit stronger, or we can work on this together. So that would be my answer, James. We hope we did answer you and gave you what you were looking for. If not, please let us know. My sister says, you want to hit it, baby?
He may be doing all that, but communication is the key. Because people are trained and have learned differently, she/he may question the method, i.e., doing extra or taking too long.
And the last I'll say, the last I'll say in this moment is, I think we both need patience with each other. If you are you need patience with the person that's trying to come in and love you and trying to come in and add to your life.
Yeah.
If you're going to allow them into your life and then you go as far as becoming married, you made the decision with yourself to no longer be an independent. You now have someone that you can, and I love it. You said lean into, because it may not be an immediate. You may have to gradually lean into it, but be willing to do it and
Yeah.
work as hard as you can to be intentional at it. And if you're the person trying to love the independent, be patient. You're gonna need the patience, because that's been something that they've had to do for whatever reason for a long time. So
And like she said, like uh you learn how to be, especially when you are dating and you're old. I'm gonna say older, but you're grown, you're established. You have learned how to live life the way you do it. And
yeah,
so when someone else comes, it's not someone else comes along you, and now you guys are together, you love each other, and you're trying to blend your lives together. It's very hard because you see it this way and they see it this way. And it's gonna have to be very good communication. And yes, it's gonna have to be some compromising as well. That's healthy for both of you. And so, some things me and Will do completely different. And we're like, okay, well, I'll just do it this way. Um,
mhm,
and to James, I'm asking because as men, a lot of times we assume instead of swallowing our pride and getting an understanding, right? And that's exactly what happens. And you think you're doing it right, but it's better to just say, "Hey, am I? Did I?" And the faster you know, the better you're able to adapt and change and modify things, and that
mhm.
makes your relationship go a lot smoother versus holding your resentment, holding on your pride, holding on to this and that. You should feel, and that's one thing as an independent woman, we're so focused on being independent and surviving that we forget that we have to, and I say this with all
Right.
tenderness, we
Mhm.
have to, not tender is the word I'm looking for. We have to we have to give ourselves grace
Yeah.
to be okay, to allow ourselves to make mistakes, to allow our spouse or significant other to make mistakes. And we have to find a place to learn and not get so quick to anger and be upset. Well, I didn't, what did I, you know, allow some time for you to grow together and learn each other and be okay being uncomfortable sometimes. Now, I'm not saying
Yeah.
having a full headache and have high blood pressure. I'm not saying all that. But the uncomfortability of learning one another and gelling your lives together is a challenge. It's hard. It's not
Mhm.
going to be easy. But
Mhm.
if you truly love that person, before you love them, you have to like them. So if you like them,
Excuse me. What you're not going to do is drop that and keep on driving, back your car up and repeat that again.
if you like them,
You say you
then
can't just
you
love them. You got to what?
gotta like them. Like I like this person. So what? This is the question I always ask my. I've learned to ask myself, and I love that my husband, he does it. I think without knowing that he does it. If I continue to act this way, if I continue to do this, am I loving my wife? Am I helping my wife? Or am I doing the opposite?
Hmm.
So if you ask yourself those questions, it makes you um, ponder on your actions and how you show up in a relationship.
That's it.
And when you're dating, you want to establish that before you get married, because when you get married, different challenges come to you to break you up on purpose.
That's That's it. Daddy said, yes, communication is very important.
Yeah.
Before we get to your next question, James, because James has another question, and we can stay here as long as we need to. It's all good. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say a couple of things. First of all, men have to, because men are independent too. Men live single. You got to get rid of the single mindset too.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing would be is everything is not a deal breaker.
Nope.
If everything is a deal breaker, that's probably not your one.
Probably not.
It's probably not your one. Because here's the thing. You are taking an entirely whole person who's had a life way before you.
Whole life.
Experiences, childhoods, hurts, traumas, whatever. Because they didn't just fall straight from heaven. Oh, that they would. Unblemished. Unblemished. But we don't fall straight from heaven right into the laps of our one. You're expecting because they get with you, everything that you don't like or won't like is just going to be erased or disappear. And it don't work like that. So if everything is a deal breaker, that's probably not your one. What is non-negotiable? And I get it. Some things are non-negotiable. You put your hands on me. We're not doing that.
Not doing that.
Negotiable. But you won't stop leaving the toilet seat up. That's a deal breaker. Now, if she's so independent that she won't let you even love her, and you've tried and you're in year 3 and you're like, okay, if you don't get some counseling, I don't know how much further we can go because you're fighting me on loving you. I can get if you get to that breaking point. But I think everything's a deal breaker. We're not willing to love people beyond and past some stuff. We're not willing to pray people through some stuff. We're not willing to be patient. Some things are just obvious. Like, listen, that's you. That's going to always be you. I don't want to marry that. I get that. But other things, I think everything's a deal breaker. I don't think that it is. And then y'all hear me say this all the time. Sometimes you have to ask, do I want to love or do I want to be right? Is it about you being right in a moment? Or are they seriously having an issue with being independent or being whatever? Or you just want to be right? Because some things, you attracted to that person for a reason. Could it be some of the independent ways you were attracted to? And if so, what's workable? Exactly. How right do you want to be, or do you want to love? Right. Okay. Here's our other question from James.
Another question, Queens, is trusting the process longer with some women than others? Most definitely. Most definitely. Honey. Hot, yes.
And the process may be more intense. It may be a deeper process. It may be a lot of things that have to be processed out. And it's really going to depend on where that woman is coming from, like where she's been, what has happened to her in her life. Go ahead, C.
What I was going to say, what you just said, the more, I would say, the more a woman has been through in her life, I'm going to say sometimes determines how long the process will be, because there's a lot of processes that have to be broken up, like Nikki said. But I would behoove any man and any woman, if it's flipped, to ask questions. Don't just say, oh, that's just the way they are. Perfect example. Why anytime, say your spouse gets upset anytime they see or get frustrated anytime they see a brotherly love relationship. Just something simple like that. And now this is not your boyfriend. This is your boyfriend, not your husband yet, because hopefully you didn't figure this out because you've been paying attention, not just worried about yours and you gotta pay attention. Okay, so every time you're around family or whatever, brotherly love, he gets, I'm ready.
Right.
Or he gets, he pulls away, and you notice it more than 3 times. 3 is, of course, I love that number. 3 is a wonderful number. That's when you ask, hey, I noticed when this happens, you do this. Is what's wrong? Is something going on? And sometimes he might not have the words, but the fact that you notice, it's something going on. Mm-hmm. Asking questions will help you understand anybody in a relationship a lot better, because you understand their perspective, not what you already assume or judge, but their perspective. And that's so important to understand.
Yeah, and I call that the root cause.
Mm-hmm.
There's a root cause for that. So I have someone that I've been friends with for years. And we were talking, it was about maybe 8, 9 years ago. It was a while. And as I was listening to him talk about how he used to always be angry and always fighting, it was always this. The more we talked, the more questions I asked. And I remember him saying, I never thought about that. And I'm saying that to say sometimes, uh, we talked about this before on the show. I feel like men were taught to suppress and you don't express and you don't show emotions, you don't cry. They were taught that for so long as boys. We expect for them to become men and turn that switch on. Excuse me, I've been suppressing all my emotions all this time. You want me to do what? So when you allow safe spaces, non-judgmental safe spaces, and even opportunities, because I know some men would test you. Some men would test a woman. How much information can I give you and see if you throw it back in my face?
Right.
What will you do with it?
Right.
And you can test it and you give them a safe space, they will open up to you. And in those questions, and you really truly wanting to get to know them, you will find out those whys, those root causes. Why do you respond like that? Why do you act like that? And that comes with what the theme of what many people have been saying, the communication and the patience. But that communication is super important. If all we're going to talk about is how good the sex is going to be, I'm not getting to know who you are. My marriage to you cannot be built on sex.
Nope.
Because what happens if ED happens?
Hello.
What happens if I have an issue where I'm dry and I can't do anything, or my libido goes? Like, do we have nothing beyond that? Because if we don't have anything beyond that, that's how you have so many deal breakers.
Yep.
That's how you have so many people divorcing. Like, okay, there are other reasons why people divorce, but y'all feel where I'm going with it. Don't come.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Nicole, what's up? How you doing?
I love you.
Y'all keep Nicole lifted up, her and her family lifted in your prayers. What's up, King? Facebook sent me a memory of our show this time, this day, 2 years ago. I watched it. I'm gonna send that to you. Hilarious. For those that don't know, he and I used to have a podcast called Their POV with Nick and King. All righty. So he says, so in your opinion, is it up there? Yeah. So in your opinion, Queens, is it safe to say that the man needs to take this time to develop God-given patience during the process? My last question. Sorry. First of all, don't apologize.
Keep it coming.
Don't do that.
Don't do
that. Family is sitting down at the table talking. You saying that, but don't play with it because people been asking. He talking about we coming back. People been asking. Don't play with it. Nicole says she loves us both. We love you too. I'm gonna let you answer his question first. I'll put it back on the screen.
Once again, James, keep them coming. Don't stop. I love take this time to develop God-given patience. And that statement right there should be for both parties, not just for the man. Because like Nikki said, men want to feel safe too. And where I was going earlier about the tenderness, that independent lack, because we're so driven to get there and do that, we have to learn how to allow there to be a soft place for a man to land, to feel as if he can tell you his innermost thoughts, and you don't throw it back in his face, you don't use it against him, but you actually are gathering the information to love him the best way you can, especially if you like him, like you you say, oh, I like him, or I like her. When you say that, it changes your like, okay, well, if I like them, maybe I might love this
person. Talk. Yes.
So okay, so that means I need to set up shop and get to work, meaning do your research, pay attention. But then also ask God for patience in the process. And of course, spending time with God, I'll tell you, that's the best medicine for you, to help you learn how to develop patience and waiting and watching and observing, and not be so eager to get to the bedroom, or not so eager to fight or get in an argument. Those trigger things that we love to go to because that makes us feel safe, but actually it just tears down you and the person. Don't float there. Come back. come back and make a safe environment for both people. I will always say this to couples is pray before you talk about an argument, either separately or together. So you set a foundation where there's love that can be there and grace can be given.
I love that. I'm gonna hit this, and I want to go back to what you said. Amazing, you both are awesome. I love this. Amen. We love you too. Um, you said a couple of things, girl, that I want to piggyback on. You were talking about building. The building, like the communication, I should be building for a purpose. The purpose is to either get to know you or to love you. So if I'm already getting to know you and I'm starting to fall in love with you, I want to keep building on that. And to do that, I want to keep knowing more and more about you because I want to know how I can best serve you in our relationship. Listen to the words, how I can best serve you. We should both have a servant attitude, right? And if you're going to be my lifelong husband, I want to know how to serve you. What do you like? What do you not like? What are those things that I pay attention to that you won't say? Because you'll tell me a lot with your mouth, but you'll say a lot with your actions if I pay attention. What are things that I need to pay attention to so I know when I see you come in the door like that, or I see you respond or move like that? Okay, I need somebody to tell us if we're still live.
Good. We're good.
We're good? Okay. If I see you moving in a certain way, especially if we are in a crowd of people, I should watch you and know you enough that if I see you doing something, you're uncomfortable. Thank you so much, William. Okay. Thank you, James. That I'm paying so much attention to you that I know, okay, something's not right with my baby. Let me slide on over here. Let me give him a hug, get up in his ear and be like, you straight? You good? You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm paying attention. I'm listening to the things that you told me and the things that you told me with your actions, with your mannerisms. That's telling me something's not right. But that's me wanting to build. If I'm only interested in what you can do for me financially and sexually, I'm gonna miss all that other stuff. And here is where, again, the breakups, the divorces, all those things happen because somebody stopped listening, somebody stopped caring, somebody stopped trying to serve the other one, and I want to serve you. I want to be served and I want to serve you. How can I best do that? Thank y'all for letting us know. The other thing is yeah, we're talking about praying, and James was mentioning praying through the process. So if I want to operate a rental car or I want to operate a brand new car, I'm going to go to the manual so I can learn what all the little buttons and all the things do. I need to go to your manufacturer and find out about you because, again, the way that I may have loved Sierra may not be the way that I need to love you. Sierra needed a whole other way of loving. You're going to need a different way of loving. So, yeah, talking to you is going to teach me that, but so will your manufacturer. Because your manufacturer may tell me some things in the spirit or may put me on some insight to some things that you're not willing to tell me or you don't know how to tell me. You don't know how to express it. You understand what I'm saying? He says, as a man, I got you, James. As a man, I used to be fearful when my wife shut down and stealed away. I always felt like I caused the shutdown. You may have. You may have. And maybe her shutdown was, I don't know how to process this and take you right now. So let me go get my thoughts together. Then again, it may have had nothing to do with you. It just was a shutdown that she had to figure out why she was going through. Because everything somebody's experiencing emotionally in a relationship doesn't always have anything to do with you. It's not your fault. Ooh, I feel a moment for this one. I feel a moment for this one. Because if we get in our feelings because of your emotional moments, now it stopped being about what you're going through. Now it's about what you caused between the two of us, and I'm pissed off at you. I can't even pray you through your moment right now because I'm in my feelings on how you reacting to me. Oh,
yep.
Go ahead. I know you want to say something. Go.
Oh no, I was gonna say with the shutdown. I love the words he's using because it's like making more conversation. Independent women, 75 to 90% of them shut down. Why? Either you are trying to control the environment or something is out of whack and you're like, you know what, I can't. And you shut down. And it's one of those things where you could have caused it, James. You couldn't have caused it. But we're always striving and surviving. So we got to find a way to deal with that. And part of it is shutting down sometimes. Like, I just can't. And you just throw your hands up and you do what you got to do. You go off or you just shut down, go to a room, don't say nothing to nobody. You turn your phone off, you just out. I just can't. And then to survive, whatever you got to do and get through, you come out of it and you just keep processing. And you keep living, but not really processing what's going on with you. And so sometimes it makes it really hard to express how you feel. And so I love, William, you can point to you this week, this vacation, you about to get it. Okay, I'm sorry, bring it back. Woo! Hallelujah! I'm telling you, this
Oh,
podcast.
enjoy it, William. Enjoy it. Enjoy
Oh,
that. Enjoy
you
it.
better. But when he has taught me that I don't like space and I don't like silence. I don't like that. But I'm learning that in getting away and just taking your husa and trying to process what you're feeling, then coming out of that and say, okay, this is what I feel. And then realizing, is it this is what you really feel, or is it something else? Like taking the time to figure out the matters of your heart and your mind is something that independent women don't have time to do, but it's the most important thing to do. So you're able to be in more control of who you are and knowing yourself, not just keep surviving and striving. That's not healthy because you never really come to this resolution of, you know what? Every time he pisses me off, I go get a box of chocolate. And I was working out hard. Now
with the nuts on the inside and the
with the
caramel.
nuts inside and the gooey gooey stuff.
It's giving turtles.
And now if you're not paying attention to you, you just keep doing that pattern over and over again. And you're the one suffering. At the end of the day, you are. Not anybody else. And then you have to check in with yourself. You know what? The way you talked to me that other day, that's being honest about what's really going on. Not just sucking it up, as men would do too. It's the way you spoke to me that day. I came in the house. I just felt like I did something wrong. Or I felt whatever it was. Was that really what it was? Or what? So when you and then they're like, oh, that wasn't my intention. And then it clear the air. The more conversations you have that are uncomfortable like that, the more comfortable you feel. Both of you feel safe to have conversations that need to be had, right? And then when it comes to finances, you feel more safe. You feel more secure. The matters of the heart and the mind are so important in relationships, either be romantic or not romantic. And understanding the people that you're talking and conversing with on a regular basis, that you have in your inner circle or that are trying to become close to you are so important because that, and like Nikki said, when you spend time with God, God will tell you certain, you know what, don't say that today. Yeah, we know he didn't put the toilet seat down 3 times this week and you fell in the toilet last night. That happened to me last week, by the way. Did I ever bring up the toilet seat? William Pleasant put in the chat. Did I ever bring up the toilet? I did now. But I'm over it. I ain't fussed about it. He ain't never heard nothing about it but right now. He just said, you just said something now.
I heard him.
One of those things where you just, is it gonna kill me? I ain't dead. I don't like the water splash. It was clean, amen, praise God. But you know, one of those things. You just have to keep it pushing. But yeah. So that one question took us a whole different.
We're not doing that. We talking on a talk show. We good. So the things that you said that I was gonna say. So since you said it, I'm not gonna repeat it.
Okay.
Y'all let me know. I need a Wi-Fi check again, y'all, please.
Is she clear? Clear.
Let me know. Are we good?
We clear.
We are?
Sorry, Will.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. I apologize, y'all. It keeps giving me messages that we're not on. So I will answer this question. James says, so when this happens, okay, thank you, James. And I, as a man, feel like I didn't cause it. Is it better as a man to just be quiet? Thank you, Robert. Hey, Robert. Okay. I don't think anybody should ever just be quiet. Just being quiet will bring up something called resentment, animosity, and bitterness. Because you're not expressing your feelings, your thoughts, and you're going to start feeling like you're not being seen or heard. And then you're going to start feeling some kind of way. And that to me is a whole bunch of cracks that we leave room for the enemy to come in and take something that was nothing and make it something that it never was. I would say, okay, so for me, I'm a processor. And anybody, don't y'all start talking in the comments.
Mhm.
For those, thank you so much. For those of y'all that know me, when I start processing, I get very quiet. I get very, very quiet. And then I reach a point, depending on the level of emotions and what's happening, where it'll come out. Other times, I'm just going to process it because I want God to talk to me, to show me first, because it could be me.
It could be
The
me.
other time,
Amen.
it could absolutely not be me, but I still want Him to show me how to respond. Because I
Amen.
always want to lead with what? Grace. I always
Yeah.
want to lead with grace and love. But in my processing, I am learning that I have to tell people I'm processing right now. Reason why I say that is I can just go into my withdrawal and just be quiet, but you're not going to know what's wrong. You're used to the jovial Nikki and the happy Nikki and the loving Nikki and the smiling Nikki, but you don't get that. So now you're offended and you think you did something, and then you're going to be even more offended because I'm not talking to you. So what can keep all of that from happening is just me saying I'm processing right now. Or, you know what? I need a couple of days. I'm thinking right now, I'm not even feeling it. Can I call you back later? Or if we're in the middle of talking and it goes left, let me call you back. I got to go process because this is not going to go good if I sit on the phone. That's just me telling you versus you having to play the guessing game. So, James, I said all that to say, and I hope this is helping. I wouldn't say just be quiet. Even if she tells you, no, baby, you didn't cause it, let her know when she's ready to talk, if she
You're
needs to
there.
talk, if she needs to just sit and cry, or she wants whatever. You're going to be that safe space for her to do that. Sorry, y'all, if you can hear that. I don't know what's going on outside, but I would say tell her that. And thank you, Brandon. I'll come to you in just a second. And okay, so he says, beautiful response from both of us. So, as a woman, what if you're wanting quiet time? And as a man, I interrupt. Well, you're not going to know that you're interrupting it. But if you do, just apologize. Babe, my bad. Enjoy your time. That's it. Like, you're not a mind reader. I would say if your wife enjoys her me time, where that includes quietness, how about you talk to her when y'all go to dinner again or when y'all having lovely time and be like, baby, from now on, can you help me help you? When you feel like you need that time to yourself and you don't want me to interrupt, can you let me know ahead of time? Can you tell me this a moment like, baby, I need like 15 minutes to myself. Later on today, I need some quiet time. Just ask her to communicate it to you because it's important to you that you don't interrupt it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, hit this one from your brother, baby.
Don't be quiet, but definitely ask for guidance before expressing your feelings and concerns. I am still in training when it comes to this, but my brother does it very well. I will say that. He taught me a couple of things. And I will say, um, go back to what I said a couple of minutes ago about a woman or a man knowing themselves. That's why it's so important to know who you are, whose you are, but know your heart and your mind. And I will say even this. I'm learning this processing thing. I don't like that word, but I said it so many times today. I hate that word. I hate it, hate it, hate it, hate
I
it.
love
You love it, I hate it. Anywho,
It's one of my favorite words.
no, but I don't like it. So if you want thinking time, whatever you want to call it. But I learned though is that when you know yourself, you know if something's going to take you more than a day to process it, or if it's going to take you a couple of minutes, or I just need to give me like 10 minutes just to let me come down off this high, and then I can talk about it. And that allows for a good way for your spouse to know how to show it for you and be present, right? But sometimes some things hit you like a ton of bricks, and you just don't know how to process it, and you need more time. And I hopefully your spouse or your significant other loves you enough, first like you enough, but love you enough to give you your space and check in on you and say, I'm still here if you need me. And that check in, if I'm, it just gives that person the support they need to get through whatever they're processing, for sure, for sure. And even in, friendships is so important as well, because I find when people just check in, hey, I know you still, thinking, you all right? Yeah, I'm good. All right, keep it pushing. Check in. But while they are away from you, and I hope this helps you too, James, while she's in quiet spaces, and distant, pray. Still live your life and still do you. Don't hold resentment against her because I know you want her there. Don't hold resentment, but ask God to tell you and show you how to show up for her when she comes out,
That's it. How to
and
serve.
then and how to serve her exactly, because that will help her be able to come to you a little bit faster sometimes, or it also may help her to be like, okay, he waiting outside. I know he waiting outside. Hey, give me like 15 more minutes. You know what I mean? Like, because you know that they're there. You know that person's there waiting for you. And then enjoy your life. Do you? Don't sit there and worry. Sit there in love and in grace and allow God to just give you the set the pace for you as you serve her in that way. And that's another thing. Serving looks different in so many ways, not just by giving and doing and doing. Sometimes it's just being is a way of service.
Absolutely. And I would say the only thing I'd add to what she said, because she said it perfectly, ask God how to love her like Jesus through it. At the same time, help me not to get offended and get in my feelings
Right.
because she is getting this time to herself.
Right.
Um, it's easy to get offended. I remember one time being in a relationship with someone that actually came to my home when they got off of work. They had had a long day and it was hot. South Texas hot.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want to be talked to. And I'm like, but you came to my house. They didn't want to be talked to. They wanted moments to themselves to just. I immediately got offended because I'm like, but you asked to come see me. This is not seeing me. All they wanted was a break because it was hot. I wouldn't want to talk to me either. It was hot. Can I breathe? Can I get some water? Can I breathe?
Correct.
So it's so easy just to get offended when somebody is not using you as their go-to. They're not turning to you. They're not telling you what's going on. So you in your feelings, well, I'm your wife. I'm your husband. Right. But because you are, and I don't want to go off on you, because right now I know what the heck is going on inside of me. Give me 50. I just need 50. Can I get 50 of them feet? Can I get an hour? And if you know, and I'm not saying this to you, James, if you know you are a demanding spouse and they are always giving to you, please get them people their hour or
Please.
whatever they from you
Please.
before they crack on you,
Please.
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 Please. Don't get cracked on because you yet won't. Oh, so now you won't even leave me alone to get my time by myself. Yeah, don't do that. Are y'all enjoying the conversation so far? If you are, drop us some hearts down in the comments. Let us know. Have y'all shared yet? What are your thoughts? Say something. Say something. All righty, see, let's go on to the next topic. Oh, before we do,
Uh-huh.
James, this was for you today, baby.
Case in point, on Saturday, my wife was extremely upset with me because of the restaurant choice I made. She shut down, and I felt awful because I didn't realize I offended her. I've done this
Mm.
before. I've done it before. I've been your wife. You should see the faces my husband's giving me right now.
So I gotta ask you. I have to ask you. See, I gotta ask.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for the hearts, James. Thank you for the hearts, William. I gotta ask you. See,
Yes.
were you offended by the place he chose, or were you in your feelings because he didn't choose what you wanted him to choose? Okay.
It's happened several times, by the way. So both of those are correct answers.
Okay. So both of them. Okay. Okay. So
So now, we have options.
now you have what?
Options.
There you go.
There we go. You're like, so I got this
There you-
option. I got this option. Which one do you want?
And then okay, so here's the other one. Here's the other one. Bite your tongue. Thanks, baby. Bite your tongue and make yourself have a good time. And then after the fact, not vinegar, but honey, baby, next time I'm good on that place.
Mm-mm. I didn't really like the empanadas there. I didn't really like the empanadas.
You know, and reason being is because you don't want to get a shutdown from your man.
Because he's
Last
trying. Because he's
time
trying.
I trying, but then I try and you go off on me, and you're gonna get a shutdown from your man. Then that's gonna be a bigger problem.
Yep.
Because they like I can't do nothing right. I'm
Yep.
trying to take you out. You pissed off because it ain't the right. Because the empanadas don't be right. He like over some damn empanadas. I done tried. Okay.
And I try. At least I'm out here trying. And that's the thing. Is like women, like you said, deal breakers. We get so offended because they didn't get it right. But it's like, at least this dude is trying. Some men don't even care at all.
They really don't.
Married, boyfriend or not, they just don't. They just do what they want to do. And look, I want fajitas, even though you don't eat fajitas. I want fajitas, so go up pick the place. You know, you like, okay, I guess I have to eat this. You know what I mean? So at least he's trying. So grace, 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 grace.
It's got to be grace because a lot of that's control issues on our part. Let's keep it 100.
100.
You mad because he did not read your mind last week for today.
Right.
Where you wanted to go eat because you was cramping. You decided I want that instead of this. And he really,
yeah,
them be control freak issues. That's what they be. This topic was we love you, Queen. We love you too.
You did not take her to that buffet. Oh God.
What'd you say?
Wait till you see Brandon's.
Yeah. Took my wife to Lambeau Chinese buffet and got the silent treatment for 4 days. Let me ask you this question, Brandon. Was it a special occasion when you took her?
Ooh.
Yes or no? Was it a special occasion when you took her? If it was, I got a tip for you, bro. I got a nugget. I need all y'all to hold on.
Please don't tell me it was
If it was a special occasion, we're going to wait on his answer. So while we're waiting on Brandon's answer, we're going to slide on to the next topic. Alrighty, y'all. So there is a man, and I am so sorry. I had it pulled up, but because the internet keeps knocking out, I don't have his name sitting here. See, if you still have it, let me know. A father is receiving a lot of backlash because he quit his $25 an hour paying job to go work in a fast food restaurant. The reason he chose to do so was because it would allow him to take his daughter to work with him. Therefore, he'd be able to spend time with her, but his daughter could be at work with him. He's receiving all kind of backlash from why would you quit that good paying job to go work there to you putting your child in danger because she back there in the kitchen at the fast food joint. So the question is that good parenting or bad parenting? What are your thoughts? Hey, Shayna, you're going to have to watch the playback.
Yeah.
Because you missed the whole, girl, we was had a good conversation about the independent woman mindset. He says, we were looking for a place, and this is where my family used to go, looking for a place for like an hour. Okay, was that your, listen, let's just go to Lambeau's Choice. Was it like that? And if not, what reason did she give you for being upset for 4 days with the silent treatment? All righty. So, what are your thoughts? Is it good parenting or bad parenting? What are your thoughts about him? See?
So the guy's TikTok is called Winter to Raw One.
His name was in the article that I sent us. I can't pull it up right now because of the Wi-Fi, but
I was trying to click it, but it ain't let me do what you do. It's not letting me do it.
That's what happened with Brandon. Okay, Brandon, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Go ahead.
Okay.
Don't let me forget it. Go ahead.
Okay. But I thought it was like y'all crazy. But I understand in a culture where money rules everything around us, that why people be like, why would you quit a good paying job? That paying job could pay for daycare and da 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 da. But I also was thinking this morning on this topic about, the daughter and her seeing her dad work and she's spending intimate time with him, a lot of time with him. Hopefully as she gets older, she appreciates this and is not the opposite, upset of like, well, Daddy, we could have been doing X, Y, and Z if you had this kind of money. You know what I mean? I just hope that doesn't happen. But his intentions to spend time with his child, I think is beautiful.
Yeah.
The fact that the fryer was over there, she was over her, and she was separate. It wasn't like she was sitting right by the fryer. She was on this side.
He wasn't frying the fries.
She was over there, and the thing is over here. And he's just going like, hey, it's just, think about it. It's like daddy in the kitchen. Dad's in the kitchen cooking. It's the same type of situation to me. So I commend this man. I love it. The people in the comments shooting him down every which way, unacceptable. I love it. I don't have nothing negative about it. I love what he's trying to do for his child.
The people in the comments were doing too darn much.
Way too much.
The baby was not cleaning the grease from the fry fryer. I have in this city have seen a lot of people that work with their parents in fast food places. They're sitting over at the table coloring. Yeah. You just didn't realize that child was the cook's child. They didn't have child care, right? I have taken my children to school with me. When I was going to Blinn College back home, I didn't have daycare at night for them. And the courses that I had to take for that particular degree were only at night. So I went to the head counselor at the school and I asked them, could I bring my kids? Otherwise, I can't complete my education. And my children got to go to school with me every single night. You do what you have to do, or you make excuses not to get it done. Right. Again, survival mode. And so I didn't have anybody questioning me, having a complaint. Now the what you call it of the school did tell me, as long as it was okay with the teachers and the classmates, if it was going to be a disruption, I wasn't going to be able to do it. My children were over in that corner doing them. They were not bothering anybody, and I got to get my education. You do what you have to do. I commend him for being willing to let go of a higher paying job to take a lesser paying job, which means you're going to work more hours or try to make ends meet a little bit more to be able to be with your child, or to be able to take care of your child because maybe you couldn't afford childcare, or childcare may not have been the best choice. But like you said, it's no different than if, and let's keep it 100. Some of us not even paying attention to our own kids at the house. The babies are being left at home by themselves, and they're not over 12. Kids are cooking for themselves at home. I know I was cooking when I was 7. So I just think we in people's business a little bit too much.
Too much.
Mind your own business. If you really care about that baby, safe to babysit. Help the man out and babysit.
And the people who have the to do and not, well, he can be doing stocks. He can be doing this. Go to that man's establishment, sign him up for your course, teach him for free pro bono, and make sure he's successful before he quit his job. How about that? Listen. If you really want to see him out, him and his daughter out of that predicament.
Okay, can we take it a step further? We're talking about him if he was a deadbeat dad. So the brother can't win for losing.
Come on.
The brother can't win for losing. Listen, open up daycare and take care of the child for free. You want to hit this one?
No problem with this, man. Men are labeled as Rolling Stones, so the fact that he is creating the opportunity to be a better parent is good with me. Yes.
Mic drop on that one.
$25 isn't always easy money. It can be very stressful. For all we know, it may even out when you factor out daycare expenses. Right.
Exactly.
That part. But the time spent with her and the lesson he is teaching her about what a man is supposed to do is priceless. Yes. Come through.
I mean, come on, sister. Come on, James.
Come through.
Saying hi to somebody.
Hey, Valencia.
I just can't. I can't believe this man was getting roasted. There was so many unnecessary things said. But again, I mean, if I were him, I wouldn't listen to others. Here's what I began to pray for him, though. That because the story got out and because people are in their feelings, that CPS does not get involved. Because for the families that they need to be getting involved with, they're not.
Right.
I'm sorry. Let me fix that statement. Because they do an amazing job.
They do.
I will say there are some families that get under the radar that should not be, and some that should never even be looked at. This to me would be one of those situations. He is working to take care of his child. So you get involved, you're going to force him to go get a job where he's making more money and really won't get to see his child. Won't know where his child is or who will have his child because you're intervening because some people are in their feelings. We do too much. Sometimes. Mind your business. If you're going to get involved, help him. You're going to get involved, help him, but don't criticize.
Don't. Stick where you at. And handle your business. Make sure your business on up and up.
That's all I'm saying. All right. The next topic.
You ready? Let's do it. All right. So the next topic. Well, okay. Which way we want to go with this?
Whichever one you want to hit, baby.
Let's do it. Okay. Let's do the since we don't need relationships. What can you offer a man that has money, a car, and his own home? This is Nikki quiz.
I got this breakdown.
Mhm,
The game actually asked this question, the rapper.
mhm,
He
mhm.
wanted to know, what can a woman offer a man that already has money, a car, and his own home? Um, Brandon, let's hit this for him before we keep going.
What'd he say?
It's not coming up. Hold on, let me try one more time.
Because she thought it was a decent buffet from the outside, but once we went in, her face was like, "This is a swamp. It's the swamp, swamp meat." She didn't take not one bite, and we left it immediately after I was able to get one egg roll down my throat. I paid for a full meal for both, since you pay when you walk in. Now I know better, and we have not been to any buffet till this day. I learned that day. You on mute. Can't hear you, boo.
Okay,
Okay. There
now
it
it me. Now it unmuted me.
goes. Okay.
So I'm gonna hit this real quick because Brandon, I said I will come back to it. I'm not speaking for your wife. I will say this from the facts that you have presented. I think it's the buffet. Period. Buffet is such a no-brainer. It's such a you didn't really give no thought. Let's go to the buffet. Oh, really? It's the thought. I need some thought. It's just supposed to be like our night, day, night, whatever. We gonna hit the buffet. Okay, cool. Look, all right. From the outside, we get inside, and it sucks. Yeah, bro. It was going downhill for you. Don't do that no more.
Uh-uh.
Don't do that no more.
There they go.
Alrighty, so yeah, so he's that's what the game posed. What can a woman offer a man that already has a home and some money and a car? See, well, Shayna says a house is not a home. Mic drop.
You better.
James says, "Well, hit this one before you give your answer." See,
I can answer this question. We as men can be offered love, completeness, and spiritual refreshing.
come through
Come
refreshing.
on,
Oh,
James.
hey, have I had somebody
Yes.
refresh me before? Oh,
Spiritual refreshing.
come on, spiritual refreshing. That's
That
good.
feel like. I
That's
think I know
it.
what it feel like.
Okay, refreshing. I
Yeah.
love you added to my vocabulary. Thank you.
Okay. Let me write that down.
Come on, spiritual
Spiritual
refreshing.
refreshing.
May I put a highlight on that comment, please?
Can you
Yeah.
please? Can you please do that? Okay.
All right, go ahead, see.
Um, for moi, I would say that of course, you got the sexuals, and then yes, he can pay anybody, but you're particular. Every woman is particular. The other thing I would say is that mic drop on it was a Shayna who said
A house is not a home.
that comment. Um, a man can be in a house and it doesn't feel, you don't feel love there, you don't feel the comfort there, you don't feel the support there, it just feels dead. That could even go for a woman who's independent, who got all the money, living in a high rise. She can have the same type of feeling, and unless you just like being by themselves, and that's, hey,
Yeah,
kudos to you.
yeah.
But if you enjoy the company of someone, um, the support from me, and the you ain't gotta do everything by yourself. Like, you got someone that got your back. You know what I mean? I think that is priceless. Like, when you really feel like someone got your back, you feel a weight that's lifted. Yes, you have carried it all on your own for so long, but when you have someone there that really got your back, um, that makes your house feel like a home. When you walk in there, you like, I'm home. That's priceless. It's priceless to me. So that would be my answers in a nutshell. I can go on and on about this, but that's gonna be mine.
First of all, virtual high five to you. What can I offer a man that already has money, home, and a car? I can offer you peace. I can offer you love and nurturing. I can offer you arms that will hold you, that
Amen.
will give you a safe space. I can offer
Amen.
you a shoulder and a lap. I can give you understanding. I can offer you prayers that your money and your house and your car will not cover.
Amen.
Um, I can offer you a home environment that you feel the king in, right? Um, I can offer you laughter and companionship.
Mhm.
Like, if your home and your car and your money can give you that, do you don't need me. You don't need me, right? I could be your helpmate. I could be your servant, right? Because you're gonna be mine. Let's get that together. But
Yeah.
I can offer you things that your money, your car is not gonna be able to offer you. I'm not going to include my deliciousness. I'm not going to do that because you can go pay for that with your money. But what you get with it, which is the heart and the love and the compassion, you can't go buy that. I mean, if you can, do you, but then you don't need me again, right? So that would be my answer. I can offer you those things. He says, all right, Queens, I'll take both of those responses. Um, I'm coming to your question in just a second, Shayna. A rib is a partner that should complement your peace with care and love. There you go. I don't even know what emoji that is.
She's talking about the buffet, like, ooh.
Oh, the buffet. Okay.
Mhm.
All righty. So Shayna has this question. See,
Why do kings have queens? Can you do another mic drop for that one?
I think she's answering the question, what can a
Yeah,
woman
yeah, she
offer?
is. It's not really a question, it's a statement.
Because the king got that times 1,000, doesn't he? Yeah, that's my answer to that. You know, when he posed it, I don't know if he was trying to be flippant or if that was a genuine question. But oh, I can tell you what else. Nikki can help you take and multiply that money, and we can turn that house into some houses and own real estate.
That part.
And see, I believe in ministry work, so we can have some foundations.
Hey,
We're helping other people.
hey,
I can go on all day about that. Last thoughts.
hey, hey. We can turn it up, turn it down. Amen.
That part. But
Multiply. You multiply me, I multiply you. Huh?
say it again.
I multiply you, you multiply me. We can.
That part. We serve each other. But if your car and your money and your house is that important to you, then you don't need me.
Oh, I love the word she used, fruitfulness.
That part.
I love
That
that word.
part.
Yeah.
Come on, Shayna.
You better come through.
Come on,
Come
Shayna.
through. Come through.
Next topic, then.
Next topic. We're gonna turn it. We're gonna turn it. Well, let's do this one. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. Because the other two might be taking us a different route. It might take us a different route. I like the route we're on right now.
Okay.
So it's pushing. It's giving push.
It'll be our last one, so make it delicious.
Deliciousness.
Not that. Not delicious.
Delicious.
Make the top.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say this question. Do you treat people how God values them? Deep question. But I ask this question because we sometimes get so frustrated with people.
Sherry.
What she say? What she say? What she say?
Nothing if you aren't willing to make it ours. Two is better than one if we're pushing in the same direction. That was good.
Really wow.
That was
for that. Eat. She did that.
yeah, she
was lit. That thing was lit. So the question is, do you treat people how God values them? And I think we get so hung up, especially in social media world, that this is one reason why I really dislike AI, because you lose a human connection that we have, and that actually we just weren't created out of thin air. God is the creator of each one of us, and we forget that. And the reason why I said the AI situation is because AI looks so real. They make us look so. They have measured our faces and figured out to person look like a person, but it's not a person. It's an AI. But we're losing the touch of the human being that we have a creator that created each one of us. No matter how much we dislike a person, no matter so much they get on your nerves, they are created. God created each one of them. And so I ask you guys this question, and it can go two different ways. Do you treat people how God values them? Or if you don't, why? And if you try to, if you do, how do you do that? I'm gonna say it's gonna come back to me, but I'm gonna say this to Nikki and give you a crown right now. Don't cry, see, don't cry. Okay,
Oh, we
don't
went
cry.
the whole show without tears.
I did. Don't cry. I told you you have to be observant when you are getting to know someone. You have to be attentive to that person. I said it's romantic or friendship or business relationship. You have to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that Nikki is getting so many crowns in my mind, and because I feel that she does do that. She treats people. She makes them feel like they're the only person in the room. It could be millions of people, but once she locks eyes with you and she says, "Hey, how you doing?" Everyone else becomes invisible because she's so attentive to you. It's almost like I have watched her when we went to church in San Antonio together, and I literally, because I was a porter, so I had to watch the environment, and I literally felt like God was downloading into her what she was viewing as a person, but more than what she just saw. And it was just like,
It's so accurate. That's exactly what he does. I kid you not.
and I'm like, how
Wow.
in the world? And just to watch her, and after they would leave with so much joy and peace. But I would watch her, and she would sit there in like awe or ponder or wonder. Or if the person was hurting, you could see that she was hurting with them at the same time.
Mm.
So I give Nikki her crowns because she does do this to the best of her ability. And the thing that I notice that she does that is so connected to our Father is that she gives people grace, even if she don't think they deserve it. And she does never think that because she thinks everyone deserves grace because they do, because God has given her grace. And I've heard her say it several times, so I know why she does it. But yes, Nikki does it very, very well. And I give her all crowns because to watch how she navigates people from different lifestyles, environments. And when they, Nikki, it's not, oh, hey, Nikki, oh, hey, Nikki. It's, hey, Nikki, every person, because her heart just beams onto them. So I give you crowns. Kudos, my friend. You're awesome. Okay. I didn't cry.
Guess who's trying not to right now, though? Wow. That was wow, Sierra. Wow. First of all, I'm so shocked that God showed you that because I swear that's what he does. I, I swear that's what he does.
Wow. And
I'm
she'll
gonna
and she'll do this head lean. This is what she just did right now.
Oh my God, you watch me too much. Yes, I do.
She'll do this head lean. And what's going on? And you just see the person. Oh God, all the bags that they carry. When she does this head lean and she acts you a certain way, you see like, and maybe God just has showed me this in the spirit, but you literally see the person's bags drop, and then they become fully naked in front of her, and they're just like, "This was going on, girl. Could you believe he did X, Y, and Z?" And she's like, "Really?" And she, but it's just like one of those things where it's a real gift, but it sometimes it can be hard, and I know it can. But yes, you do it.
Wow.
Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. Done. Finished. Go ahead.
First, sorry for what? Secondly, oh my God, that was accurate to the head lean. Because I promise you, I think I may have said this on this podcast. I hear him as I'm listening to you, and sometimes I hear him while I'm looking at you. So while you're talking to me, I'm like, okay, we're gonna get past the surface that you're telling me. Okay, so what's really going on? And I swear I do the head lead. Now we'll be watching it. I will be watching for the head lead. Okay. Wow, see. And I didn't cry. High five to Nikki.
Good.
Whew. Wow, that was so sweet. Okay. Wow, Sierra. Your husband says we counsel people that God isn't done with.
Amen.
We do, especially with the emergence of cancel culture.
Okay.
I
Mhm.
don't,
My
people
God.
get canceled for the dumbest things. There is no mercy, there's no grace.
No.
And the thing is you're the one that lifted them up and built them up that high. You did
Hello.
it.
You did
You
it.
they piss you off, now they can do no right. Acts of kindness goes a long way.
Okay, Auntie with the new fresh profile pic. All right. All
I
right.
mean, it's giving Olin Mills and glamour
You
shots.
hear me?
Auntie Elaine. God's love is unconditional and unlimited. Yes, it is. You want to hit this one?
We don't have to give everyone energy and time, but at least we can give people respect and decency. Exactly.
Mm.
Love that, William.
So I agree with what you're saying, William. But I will say this: be very cautious to the person you may have deemed. I'm not giving you my time and my energy for the last month. On the 32nd day, God may say, go over there and go say such to him. And I want us to be so sensitive to that we
Mhm.
get out of this, we get out of all of this and go
Yes.
do it because you don't know if they were thinking about contemplating suicide.
Right.
And your one piece of energy or conversation to them may be what saves their lives that day. Because they
Yes.
may, God, I don't even feel like I'm seen in this world. Don't
Yes.
nobody love me. And then because you pass by this person every day by the elevator or every day by the whatever, that's the day he tells you to say something to them.
Mhm.
You want to hit this one, sis?
we we that are spirit filled were given the capability to love people the way God values them. The problem is we are far more concerned with what's going on with ourselves. Example: I lost my aunt May, May 11th, and
And
a particular person whom I thought loved me made made my loss about
about
themselves. Okay,
themselves.
made their loss okay, got you about myself. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So sorry, James.
Oh, I'm sorry. We apologize to you on behalf of them
Yeah.
because that does hurt. Wow. We are so sorry that was the experience. And we're sorry for your loss too. It's like forget God is watching every action we perform. Ooh.
Oof.
And the thoughts that we think. Wow.
Husband, come through.
Buddhists. Oh goodness. Okay. I'm not gonna put this one on the screen because my screen is tripping, but I will read it. James says the same person would call and talk all night about their relationship issues, but admittedly said to me that she, as a sister, didn't check on me as if it were cute. Not
What
that
you
you,
did?
not that you admit that. Okay. When somebody show you who they are, all right. And she said, "Hey, mommy." She said, "Hey, Mama Sterling." Okay. Thanks, ladies. Greetings, Anissa. Thanks, Queens. You are so welcome, James. Oh, y'all, if you enjoyed today's episode, drop some crowns and some hearts down in the comments. Y'all know this is our last episode before the finale next week.
Yeah.
Yes, James, believe them. When they show you, now that don't mean you don't give them grace and love and all that, but I wouldn't go back to them for comfort. I wouldn't do that. They didn't show
Can
you they can't do it, and they
I,
laugh when they told you. Um,
can I?
right before you do, let me say this: resist the temptation to do the same thing to them that they did to you, though. Okay, go ahead, see.
Thank you for saying it.
Oh,
Thank you for saying
were you
that.
about to say that? I'm
What I
sorry.
was going to say is that being the strong person all the time, and James, I would assume that you kind of are because of your position. Being a strong person all the time, people who come to you that you pour into all the time, you expect that they're going to pour back into you when you need them, but they don't see you that way because they have you on a pedestal that you ask for. One, but when you notice that they don't return to you what you thought that you would get, as an adult, I feel like you believe what they've shown you, but I feel like we also have a responsibility because it's our heart that they're dealing with. That we should say in a respectful way, I thought you was gonna really be there for me, or yo, the way you flipped it on me, I thought that makes that person think twice about the pedestal they put you on. One, two, that you are a human being who has emotions. Yes, I'm a strong person, but I have pure emotions. I'm going through something.
I'm a
Respect
whole
it.
human. I'm a
Like
whole human.
it's not like I'm made out of leather. No, I got the same blood pumped through my veins, and my heart hurt too. So I feel like we have a responsibility to address that because people have to stop putting people on pedestals. Stop it. But once they show you and they've shown you several times, you believe them, and you pour into them, ask God how to serve them, and you be served somewhere else.
That part. I will say this to you as well, James. Y'all, I know y'all hear me say some of the same things repeatedly, but everybody that you are a well for is not meant to be a well for
Amen.
you.
Amen.
Innately, you would think if you're always coming to me to sup, to eat, to drink, you're always coming to me to get comfort, get prayer, that the moment that I need it, I can come to you. It don't work like that. I wish that it would, but it doesn't. They don't have the capacity to, because if they did, they would be there.
Right.
Some people, like she was saying, they really don't feel like they are adequate enough to be for you what you've been for them. Now, mind you, you're not asking for anything but a listening ear, an open heart, place in that moment.
Yeah.
But to be that, I would say to keep it from hurting is just remember that if you tried and they can't, they're not meant to be that for you. And that could be saving you because you don't know what they will be pouring into you. Just because you pour it don't mean that same good juiciness is going to be poured back into you. So that may be to your blessing. It doesn't hurt because if you take the time to love someone enough to pour into them, you want to see some type of reciprocity. The thing about that is it don't always happen. It doesn't. So everyone that you are a well for is not going to be a well for you. Knowing that will save you, and you are a pastor, so I know you are well for a lot of people.
Yeah, but
with so much love and so much knowledge, I know you welling out left and right. But those people are not going to necessarily be wells for you. So ask God to show me who my laborers are, God. Who are my wells? Who can I go to that will pour into me with your heart? Because sometimes you may get somebody that is so intimidated by you and your power and your authority. They'll tell you what they think you want to hear to make you feel good. That's not what you need. So ask God, who are my laborers? Who are my wells that I can go and drink from? Because I know people think we only gonna go to Jesus, but Jesus, we are here for each other, and He will speak through people to you to pour. Alrighty. William said, yes, no more internalizing our feelings, baby. Perfectly spoken, Nikki Johnson. Amen, said Auntie Elaine. And people are either assets or... This is from your husband.
I know.
He says people are either assets or assaults.
PMJ, baby.
Pastor Mike. I love that. Assets or assaults. Ugh. That's a whole episode. It's a whole episode. This was so good for our last episode before next week. I'm going to be honest, on our 2-month break, I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss y'all. But we have so many things in store for y'all for season 3. We are excited about it. We want to hear from y'all. Please, if there are certain things that y'all want us to talk about on the last show next week, drop it in the comments. This is your time to do it. Don't leave us to our own devices. We don't hear you talking about Disney World, but tell us what you want to hear about on our last show of season 2. Can you believe we made it to season 2?
Whew! I have. Sierra, I took it back. Lord,
do you want to unpack that real quick? What was that? We'll do that backstage. We'll do that backstage.
Yes, I can't believe we made it though. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. Lady Ashley, I'm so thankful for this podcast, and it's taught me so much about myself and like the stuff that come out of my mouth. I'm like, did I say that? Why she made? I'm like, I did say that. Oh God! But it's just living our lives out loud.
Yeah, Don't say that. Yes.
I thank God for this opportunity, and I love everyone that comes to be a part of for the podcast. And please continue to share it. Even when we're on a hiatus, share the podcast with your family and friends. If something hits you pretty good, share it with your family and friends on YouTube or on Facebook. We have so much stuff in store for season 3, so just hang on. But please come back next week because it's gonna be phenomenal finale.
Oh my God, it's gonna be a finale of season 2.
Yep.
What? Yeah, man. Okay, I'm gonna have tissue. I don't know about you, cause yeah, I'm gonna have tissue. Yeah, he need to tell you about that, so we'll know what he's talking about for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but we've come to our favorite part. Okay, I keep speaking for you on this. It's my favorite, the affirmations. The affirmations. But before we hit that, let me say this. You all know I have another podcast called the Dear Younger Me podcast. You can find us live every Friday at 4 p.m. Central and 9 a.m. New Zealand time because my co-host is in New Zealand. We're also on Spotify and Apple. So you can come check out the audio podcast as well. I have one more episode left of that one before we end season 1. So please check it out if you have not. I think it's an amazing podcast, but that's just me. I would love for you to check it out and come give me your thoughts. See, it's affirmation time, darling. So what is your personal, for those that do not know, we give our personal affirmation going into the next week. The thing that we're going to use to help govern us throughout the rest of the week. And so see, what is yours?
Okay. I had to switch my words up. So I read it to myself and I was like, let me switch these words up a bit. My affirmation this week is stay the course and don't let the obstacles stop you from achieving your goals.
Oh, say it again. It was delicious. Say that one more time.
Stay the course and don't let your obstacles stop you from achieving your goals. Very good. Oh, thank you, Auntie. I find that we veer off the course that God has planned for us because it seems too hard, or the obstacles that come our way might make us feel faulty, like we're not what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for, Nikki? We're not the person for the job. We're not
qualified.
Thank you. We're not qualified. Most of the time, you're not going to be qualified.
She's like, you're right. You're not.
You're not. So you have to lean onto God's unchanging hand to get through these obstacles and these hurdles sometimes. And then you have a community of family. We are a community. This podcast is a community. We love to pour into you guys. You guys pour into us. It's like a river. It's a flowing thing, a waterfall.
It's reciprocity.
Hey. So there you go. You get the words for me. Thank you so much. But don't. You might have to add something to the course to make sure you stay on that thing. It might be rough sometimes. You might have to put some skates on and skate through that thing. You might glide through sometimes. Your feet might hurt sometimes. But stay on the course until you reach that goal. And while you're on the course, there's so many lessons to learn. And don't forget those, because the goal is always going to be there, but enjoy the journey as you go. So that's my affirmation this week.
If y'all don't drop us some hearts like down in delicious, man. I'm gonna do my affirmations a little bit different this week. So I'm share a little bit of our private conversation, not going too much into what you said, but I'll talk more about me. So you, myself, and my girlfriend San, she's probably listening in the other room. Hey, San. We've all been talking about what we're going to be doing like over the next 3 months, the next 6 months, right? For you, it's this summer, you got some plans, you got some things that you're going to be taking care of. For me, the same thing. For her, the same thing, right? You and I talked the other day, and I was writing some stuff down, and I wrote the word summer. I'm going to put in the comments how I wrote it. I want y'all to see something. Okay. Hopefully it's gonna pop in because y'all know how my Wi-Fi been going today. All right, can y'all see that? Is it showing up in the comments yet?
Not yet, not yet. It hasn't caught up yet.
It's special.
It's special. It's getting special right now.
Ashley's saying no.
It's not showing up.
That's the devil's two liars.
Oh wow, it's not at all.
The devil is two liars because guess what? I can type it again. Matter of fact, you do this for me. See?
Yeah.
Type in a capital S. Lowercase u. Lowercase m. Capital M.
Capital M.
To E.
Capital E.
And lowercase r. And when it pops up, I'm gonna start so it can be started in the comments. All right, now can y'all see what C just put? Is it showing up?
There it is.
Okay. When we had a conversation, I was writing some adding to some personal goals that I had been putting down before we talked. And I wrote down summer goals. And I looked at it, I mistakenly had capitalized one of the M's and realized I'm going to capitalize the E too. You know, I was being led by the Holy Spirit in that moment, right? Because that's what this summer is going to be about. Like we have this time off from the podcast, time off from my other podcast, and just time off from several different things for me. So that means I get to focus on the capitals. The priority, which is ME right now, right? Getting some time for me and that ER because it's important. It's like emergency 911. When you see me in season 3, I don't want to look the same. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, I don't want to look the same. If you see me as for someone that glows, I want to glow brighter. If you see me as someone that's always happy, I want to be more joyful, right? I want to be so different, which is going to require me to do a lot of work on the inside, which I'm excited to let God do. Give him that time to do, right? Take that time for me to do. So I'll be putting my head down to do that. And when you do that, that's when certain things that have been priorities that have to be pushed to the side, and you got to push yourself up to the forefront. Sharing all of that with you guys because, and I know y'all don't want us to go, but if you love this podcast and you believe in what God is doing through us, fast for us, pray for us. Only if you praying for our goodness and to the Lord. If you ain't doing that, don't waste your time. Don't do that. But fast for us and pray for us. And we're going to be fasting and praying, right? Because we want to bring you our best. We want to make sure we are giving you what God has for us to give you. And we got a lot of comments coming in. So I'll hit y'all in just a second. So y'all can do that for us and in support, as well as be ready when we come back in season 3 in support. But also, if you want to help us, you grow this summer too. You grow. Read this summer. Turn your television off sometime this summer. Get off of social media sometimes this summer. Take some breaks. If it's one day out of a week, just take some time off to go be with you. Take some time off to go be with God. Go sit by some water or go drive with the music down low or off and just like grow this summer. Because the purpose of the podcast was not just for entertainment. We wanted us all to grow. We wanted us all to evolve. We all had words at the beginning of this year. They don't stop because the show is going to be on hiatus. So that's the way I want to take the affirmations is if I'm going to say something to have a concrete one would be is this summer I'm taking some time for me to prioritize me so I can grow, evolve, and become the best version of myself. And I hope that helps someone.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
All right, we got an amen, a oh yeah, oh yes, I'm with you, Coach Nikki Johnson. Yes, Lord, my show. James rides so hard for this show. I love him. I love all of y'all because all of y'all are hard for this show. Let me fix some words. We got some yeses. Ashley says, continue to give grace as God. Yes. Take personal time to allow God to download witty inventions into my your knower. Yes, that was from Auntie Elaine. Alrighty, y'all. So That's it. That's all we got.
That's all we got. We thank y'all for rocking with us. We thank y'all for support and your love. Um, Once again, if you want us to discuss anything or something that you're passionate about on our finale next week, please put in the comments or DM us separately on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll address it. And this week, pick up your crown. Do not let it drag, hang. Pick it up, put it on your head. You are a wonderful human being. God has made you perfectly the way you're supposed to be made. Keep progressing towards whatever God has on your heart and your mind. We love y'all so much, and we thank you so much for joining us for the podcast. We see y'all on the finale next Tuesday. Bye.
Y'all keep Nicole and her family in
Yes,
your
prayers. Yes,
love y'all so much and see y'all next week. Bye.
bye.
Bye.